Hey, welcome back to the Whole Boss Podcast. This is my first official podcast. I did like a little welcome introduction and stuff like that, but this is the first episode. And I was just thinking about what am I going to talk about on this first episode? And so I decided and landed on the topic of time. I decided time because that is one of the most requested, complained about things that I find dealing with female entrepreneurs when I ask what is holding you back or what is overwhelming you about, being an entrepreneur. And it's time. I don't have enough time. There's not enough hours in the day. I can't stop procrastinating. It's not enough time to get it all done, because us as female entrepreneurs, we are usually managing a multiple of roles. We have a lot going on. I say that all the time because we're always taking care of other people. We're managing our households. Sometimes we're working other jobs and things like that. So time becomes important. Managing our time becomes important, so instead of just talking about time management, I decided that I should address some other things because it's not just time management. It's time evaluation. What are you already doing with your time? It's time awareness. Are you aware of the things that you actually really have to do or that you're doing on a consistent basis? Do you know everything that you have going on, in an organized way so that you can schedule and prepare accordingly? Time commitment. What commitment are you making to time? Are you willy-nilly? You have no respect for time or other people's time. You haven't made the commitment to actually get the things done that is going to change and benefit your bottom line. That's going to benefit your business. That's going to benefit your life and things like that. Are you really committed to those things? I had to ask myself that, and I had to tighten up. I was like, okay, no, you are just I'm saying going with the flow, but I wasn't truly committed with my, time. I wasn't committed to the things that I said that I wanted, so, and then lastly, we're talking about time management and managing our time. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is how do you improve your relationship with time? Okay. There are a few mindset shifts that I had to make myself to improve my relationship with time. And basically, what that is you respect it. You respect it. You respect time because once it's gone, it's gone. You know what I'm saying? Time is gone. You don't get that back. We have a finite time on this planet. So if we want to make the most of it and not just get caught up in the everyday, day in and out, and not achieving things that we really want in our life and just doing what we have to do instead of doing what we want or desire to do so that we can have like a vibrant life that we want, then we could continue in the direction that we're going. Or we can get clear, do an evaluation, get some awareness, and get this thing popping. All right. So, all right. So one of the major shifts that I made was respecting time and being committed and having integrity with my word, especially with myself. A lot of times people say integrity with your word, and basically that's do what you say you're going to do. And sometimes when we're telling ourselves, oh, we're going to do this and do that, we didn't actually tell anybody else, but we said it to ourselves. We decided that that was what we needed to do and we wanted to do, but then we don't do it because we don't have any accountability to anybody else, but we should have accountability to ourselves. If there's something that we desire, if there's something that we want, if there's an outcome that we want, then when we say that we're going to do something, then we should actually do it. But there's a lot of things that come up with that. Sometimes self-doubt comes up with that, lack of confidence. There's so many things that comes up that causes you not to stay in integrity with your word when you say that you're going to do something, or just that you didn't make the actual commitment to it to actually do it. And there are times that, in my life and in my business that I was able to move forward rapidly when I finally actually committed to it and I took the steps to do what I said that I was going to do. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't allow a bunch of distractions, other people's stuff, my own stuff and mindset. I just did it. Even if it wasn't perfect, and that's a lot sometimes too. We struggle with perfection. I struggle with perfection a lot. And, even though I want to put a certain standard of things out, so sometimes it may take a little bit longer. Sometimes, it takes a little bit more because I want things to be a certain way. I had to learn to, let go in a way. And like, what's my first step? What's my first draft? Because you can always improve it. But if you never put it out there, if you never do it, then there's nothing to improve. You're not taking any steps towards your dreams and your goals. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to myself. I'm not just like going off on people. I'm talking to myself because those were some of the things that, shifts that helped me, to improve my relationship with time. Okay. So, and I know that, sometimes you say that you're going to do something and things happen because things happen. We don't control everything. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of moving parts going on. There's a lot of people that we're dealing with. We have, especially when you have, children and even more particularly smaller children and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that you cannot control. You know what I'm saying? And you may be responsible for a lot of other things, but all I'm saying is like, do what you can to stay in integrity with your word. And if something happens, especially not even if it just includes somebody else, but include yourself, communicate with yourself. Okay, I didn't get this done here. Why didn't I get this done? What can I do to still get this done? Maybe we had unrealistic expectations of how long it was going to take to get something done, or, what preparations that we needed to make to get it done. So, always, check in with yourself to find out what's going on. Like if you don't keep a deadline, I like to call it lifeline, about something, like dig deeper. Why? You know what I'm saying? Did you not have enough information? Did you have too much information that overwhelmed you? Like what was keeping you from, getting that done? You know what I'm saying? All right. So we're going to talk about the next thing. So evaluation. No, we're going to start with time evaluation. So let's go deeper into what you're already doing with your time. Okay. What are you doing with your time? Because a lot of times you're going to have to tap in and, take an audit. I call it a time audit of, what are you doing with your time? Because people say they don't have time, but when you turn around and look at what you're doing, you're like, oh, I am wasting a lot of time. So inside of my Whole Boss Start Her Kit that you can get at wholeboss.com/starter kit, just regular starter kit, but there's a link, below this podcast episode. Well, if you're on one of the podcast room, just go to the, to my website and you'll see it. There is a Whole Boss timesheet, and it's asking you how you're spending your time and for you to log the hours that you spend doing each activity of the week, and see where your time is going. So there's things that we have to do. You know what I'm saying? I say we have to do it. We have responsibilities when we have children. Children got to eat. You got to eat. You got to sleep. You got to take a shower, brush your teeth. So that's personal hygiene. You know what I'm saying? If you have a job, you have to go to work every day. You don't have to. But if you work in your job and you want to keep that job while you're building your business, then you're going to go to work every day. The children have to go to school when they were going to school and they're not being homeschooled. You know what I'm saying? So things like that, that's stuff that you have to already put into your schedule because they have to be done. So when you evaluate the things that you have to do every day that you need to include in your routines and systems and stuff like that, then that will help you to see what time that you have left to do other things that you want to put on top of that. Because a lot of times as female entrepreneurs, we had a full life before we even added a business on top of it. So you have to find time to be able to actually do that. You know what I'm saying? You have to find the time, but there is some time, and sometimes like, You don't want a full schedule where everything is planned out. You don't have a minute to breathe and stuff like that. But I say add that into your calendar, add that into your schedule, add, your rest time, add your self-care time, add your fun time, add your date nights, add your family time, add all that stuff into your schedule so that you can make sure that you make time for it. Don't just put your appointments with clients or the things that you have to do into your schedule. You schedule all of that. And, I have a Google Calendar blocking exercise that's inside of the Whole Boss Academy for my members. And, it it separates each thing, like, family time, launch time and stuff like that. So you could turn your calendar on and off. You can see it, the big picture, to see everything you have going on, and you can see the things that you need to focus on. So that helps to take away some of the overwhelm, because sometimes when you see all that color blocks and all them colors, yellow, red, blue, orange, you know what I'm saying? You're like, oh my gosh, I don't have any time on my schedule. But, I put everything on there so that I can know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And that's time awareness. And we're moving into that next. All right. So back to this time evaluation, how you spending your time. So you got sleeping, eating, personal hygiene, that's stuff like bathing, your hair, makeup, etc. Exercising, you want that in your calendar as well, because that's something that we need to do on a consistent basis. Family time and friendships, if you're going, out to dinner or hanging out with the girls and stuff like that, put that on your calendar. Make sure that you make some time for that. Commuting and travel, if you have to, go to work or something like that, and you have to drive there to school, consider that time, because a lot of time that's what makes us late, when we don't think about the travel time and how long it's going to take to get there. So if I'm going somewhere that I've never gone before, I use Google Maps, and a lot of times when I know where I'm going, I put Google Maps on, because it'll let you know, like, if there's a slowdown. So if it usually take 10 minutes, it might take 20 minutes today, because there's an accident on your route. So I use it to go different places anyway, because sometimes you can find alternate routes to get around those things. That's part of preparation. So I use my Google Maps even if I know where I'm going. So that's a good tip. So household chores, things like cleaning, cooking, shopping, etc. Because you may pick a specific day that you'll batch some of those things so that you don't have to do it fresh every day. It'll make it take less time to have to heat up something that you've already prepared, on your cooking batching day. Okay. Extracurricular activities, that's things like, clubs, social clubs, church, etc. Leisure time, how much time are you spending watching TV, going to the movies, going out, etc., running here and there, shopping, how much time are you spending web, social media, surfing, just scrolling mindlessly through Instagram and Facebook and stuff? How much time are you spending on that? How much time are you spending on actual income generating activities for your business? Things like creating offers, having follow-ups, making sales calls, marketing activities, making, new programs and stuff like that, reaching out to your people, sending things out to your email list. How much time are you spending on that? What about business networking and meeting other entrepreneurs so that you can get in front of other people's audiences? Or your regular business administration activities, things like checking your email, the legal parts of your business, customer service, and etc. So really, you want to, this evaluation, when you put down, if you get the sheet, again, get the sheet. I'll leave it in the show notes, okay, where you can get the sheet. Use it. You're gonna put down how many hours you're spending for each of these activities. And if you realize that you're not spending enough time on income generating activities or self-care or exercising and stuff like that, make some adjustments, because when we're going into time awareness now, because then you want to see everything that you have, but now you want to look at, Do I have to do all of these things? Do all of these things fall solely on me? Is there any way that I could delegate some of these things? Are some of these things somebody else's stuff that they're putting on you that they really need to be responsible for? But oh, they say you do it easier, you do it better, you do it this, you do it that. They hyping you up, but you're adding more stuff on your schedule of things that you say that you have to do when really somebody else is supposed to be doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I talk about that a little bit more in the time management, because we talk about managing your times and creating boundaries, and that word no and stuff like that. And that's something that I really struggle with, because I really try to serve people and I try to help people. I'm good at a lot of different things. So some things that are easy for me to do, it's not that easy for other people, and they'll ask me to do it. And I'll be like, oh, it's easy for me just to go ahead and do it instead of show them how. And now I'm creating more systems in my business and stuff to make sure that I'm putting step-by-step stuff for people to be able to do it themselves. And then they'll just come to me if they get stuck or if they have a special situation and stuff like that. And you could do that for your own business, not just for other people, in your business, but for your own self. That's called creating SOPs, standard operating procedures, things that you do over and over and over again, that you create, the system and the steps, so that you don't have to think so hard about it each time. You know what I'm saying? And it makes it easier and easier and easier. Or create a system or create an automation or something that takes some of that stuff off your plate. Okay. So I want you to look at that schedule after you put everything in, of what you have to do, and all that kind of stuff, the things that you actually have to do, the things that you're wanting to get done as far as starting or building your business, or, putting self-care and stuff in, all of those things. I want you to look at it, put it all in there, and then look at it and see how you can simplify, how you can delete, get rid of it, how you can delegate it, you know what I'm saying, so that you can make your plate a little bit lighter. All right. Okay. So yeah, the next thing, with time awareness is put everything on your calendar. So I've already said that before, so I'm not going to go into that, super deep again, but put everything in your calendar so that you can see what's going on. And when we have a lot of things that we're managing, trying to remember, oh, I was supposed to do this. Oh, I was supposed to do that. And you don't have it, if you have it written on a bunch of different pieces of paper and all that kind of stuff, get you a calendar. I prefer Google Calendar because, everything is linked up with Google for me. Some people are on Apple. You can put it in your iCalendar, whatever it is that you need to do, have a calendar. I always suggest people to do the Google Calendar and stuff like that, because it ties to so many other tools and stuff, especially when you start scheduling people for coaching calls or discovery calls and things like that. You can connect your Google Calendar to that, and it'll read all the things that you already have done, and it will automatically decide if you're available at this time. And you'll put the times that you're available, and if you have something scheduled on your calendar, it'll take that out too. So like putting everything in your calendar is super important. It's going to benefit you. Okay. And I'm like, oh, the older I get, my memory, honey, because all the things that I have to remember, it gets a little sketchy. So having everything like, in my schedule. So whenever something comes up, I put it in there right away, and I could glance over my schedule to see what's going on so that I can move accordingly. Okay. So build your time awareness by putting everything in your calendar. Okay. So, yeah. So being aware of your time and also being aware of other people's time. So that's back to that respect thing. Okay. So respecting time, and respecting other people's time. Think about like, if you're like consistently late and stuff, how does your lateness affect everybody, that, you're supposed to be meeting with at a certain time? Does it throw everything off? Does it throw the energy off? Is it limiting your growth in your business or in your life and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? Do an evaluation of what's making you late. Are you not prepared? Are you lacking energy? Do you not have the energy? Is it something that you really, really don't want to do? Is it something that you can, just start thinking about what it is that you can do so that you can, be on time more, because respecting your time and other people's time is going to do nothing but benefit you. But when we lackadaisical and like, they know I'm already late, I'm always late and all that kind of stuff. And, people are working around, sometimes people won't say anything, but they looking at you like, God darn, can she get her stuff together? You know what I'm saying? Get your stuff together. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no respect for my time, and you can lose opportunities by doing that. So be aware of your time and respect the time. So, okay, so we did time evaluation, time awareness, what was the other one? Oh, time commitment. So that was time commitment. Okay, I'm sorry. Time commitment was, first of all, like, having that respect and having integrity with your word, with yourself, with other people. If you say you're going to be there or do something, then do it. Making that commitment to do the thing that you said that you were going to do. And that helps with time as well, too. Because sometimes we'll just say stuff, and if you got to just tell somebody that you're going to do stuff and you have no intention on doing it, be straight up. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell them why. It's just going to make things better for you. Okay. So, time evaluation, time awareness, and time commitment. Get committed. That's going to help you to have more time, because then you're going to be, more like, you're going to say, no, I can't do that. I have this to do. I have that to do. I can't do this at that time. You know what I'm saying? You have to do it. Okay. All right. So the next thing is the time management. How are you monetizing your time? How you're managing your time. So making sure that you're prioritizing the things that's really important. You know what I'm saying? So when you're looking at that time evaluation, that time audit that you're going to do of how you're spending your time, look at leaks in your time thing. I'm not one who say that you got to be productive all the time. There's got to be time that you're going to rest, that you're going to chill, that that you need to, like, refresh and stuff like that. There's time that you don't want to do anything at all, that you just want to mindlessly scroll through Instagram or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you should have that time. But if the majority of your time are doing those things, and then you're saying like, oh, I don't have time, you know what I'm saying? Then, you might need to reevaluate that. And then also, like, looking at your natural cycles and stuff. Are you a morning person? Are you a nighttime person? When do you have pockets of time that you'll have time to yourself, that you can think when everybody is sleeping or where everybody else is out of the household and stuff? How can you make the most out of those times? Like, for instance, my husband, he goes to work like 6 a.m. to 2, so that's his hours. So that's my time to, like, really do the most work on my business, my strategizing. If I need to record videos, record this podcast and stuff like that, that's going to be the better time, because, I want to be able to spend like real time with him, when he's here. He may be watching TV, watching sports, playing the game, whatever he's doing and stuff like that. So, that background noises in the background, I can't concentrate as much. So I don't get much done then. So using that time, that now becomes my schedule, that I can focus a little bit more, and like more so in the morning too, because my daughter, she wakes up a little bit later, when she's here, and, then she's talking to me and stuff like that. So, I set some boundaries and stuff, but I also want to know that I'm here for her as well too, when she has a question or she want to feel seen and heard and all that kind of stuff. So I know that in the morning, early in the morning, that's my good time to get important things done, that I need to think about, or whatever I need to do. I need to do that early in the morning. And then other things that's not as like, that I don't need as much brain power, I can move it down later in the day after they get home. Things are popping, it's time to like cook dinner, clean, do all that kind of stuff. I do that then. Okay. So also, I guess speaking more again about those boundaries and stuff like that. Office hours. things like office hours, the time that I'm working, I have to like treat this more as a, job sometimes. Like, what hours am I working specifically on the business? And that's not time to exercise. That's not time, to spend time with the family or allow people to distract me on, oh, can you run me here and do these kind of things? Because if I was at a job somewhere else, I wouldn't be able to do that. Now, sometimes, that's the benefit of not working at a job. So you can do things that you need to do. But a lot of times you'll be constantly interrupted because people don't take you working from home seriously a lot of times. I just want to say that. So you're going to have to create some boundaries and stuff so that they know, that you're busy, right? Also, yeah, so I try to get your stuff out of the way first, I've been like the last couple of, I would say, weeks, I was struggling because I was like, I need to get this important stuff done early in the morning. And that's when I used to do like my morning routine where I'd work out on my treadmill and do, my little magic morning routine and stuff like that. And I moved it down because I was like, oh, when people come home, I can get those things done as well too. But I found that a lot of things came up and I didn't get that routine in and get my exercise in when I shifted around. So I had to just, make it a priority again and do that first and then go to work, because it's important to, make sure that you prioritize yourself first and your self-care first, because you need to give your body the fuel that you need to be able to operate all day so that your brain will work good, so that you have the energy that you need to get the things done that you need to get done. So I had to move that back in place and do that first. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just wanted to say that. So sometimes you have to adjust and stuff. You try some things and it may not work, but find what works for you. Okay. Yeah. And those boundaries, again, other people's lack of preparation and relationship with time does not create or constitute an emergency for me. So, I had to learn that because people always come and try to dump their stuff in your lap. Oh, you could do this. Can you do this for me? Can you do that? I can't get done what I need to get done. You know what I'm saying? But so the more that you like get stuff done that that you could control, then you have a little time, flexibility to do some things, but don't allow people to dump all their stuff on your stuff. So to wrap this on up, the next thing that you can do to help to create more time is to simplify and declutter. You don't realize how much clutter uh, takes time, takes your energy and all that stuff, and keep you from getting things done, keeps you from getting started and stuff. So as much as you can simplify, keep it simple, get rid of all of that extra stuff. Stop buying a whole bunch of stuff that you have to manage. That's causing more time. That's more clothes you have to wash. That's more stuff you got to put places. You're taking time to do all that shopping. Stop buying so much stuff. I'm not trying to tell you do what you want with your money and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of times, clutter and having too much stuff and things to clean and all that kind of stuff, it takes more time. So as much as you can simplify, it's going to be beneficial for you. Also, having regular planning, so planning on a regular and consistent basis is also going to benefit you greatly. So I start with like a yearly calendar, like how do I want my year to look? What are my goals and stuff? What times during the year am I going to launch and all that? And I break that down into quarterly, goals and quarterly planning and quarterly schedule, break that down to monthly, break that down to weekly, and then break it down to a quick daily, what's my daily 3 to 5 things that I want to get done today, like the little tasks that I have broken down from the big thing to the small thing. So speaking about the task and stuff and actually getting things done. So planning is a big part of that, so that you know what you have to do and what you need to break down, and to see what it is that you don't know, or what's overwhelming you, so you can like work on those things. But also, creating focus, because focus helps to save time. Like women, we're notorious for multitasking because we feel like multitasking is going to help us to get more because we got a lot to do. but actually multitasking is kind of like task switching. So you have to keep changing your focus and stuff like that. It actually makes you take more time, get overwhelmed, more. So focusing is going to on one thing at a time is going to help you to get things done. And when you already have a plan and have it broken down into little bite-sized tasks that don't take as much time, you could set a timer and focus on that task only. Cut your phone off, don't be browsing and doing other things, and focus on getting that task done. It's going to help you to get more done. And the more that you get in the habit of doing that, it's going to save you a tremendous amount of time. So batching, that's along the same thing. When you do, if you want to batch, several podcast episodes, like me, I was like, okay, I'm a batch. Sometimes I can only get one in, but if you can batch at least 4 or something like that, and then just schedule them out to go out, then that's going to benefit you, because that's less that you got to do and put in your day each week or each day or something like that. So batching also helps you to take time, so the other thing is just taking imperfect action and not allowing, perfectionism and having it right and taking a really long time on things that could have took less time, by, taking imperfect action. Like I said before, you can always improve and, redo and stuff like that. But you already got a plan in place. You already got a vision. You already know the outcome that you want. You've already done your little research and stuff. So like taking that imperfect action is not going to be like just willy-nilly just doing stuff and like, oh, I'm just going to do it. And then you got to do everything over again because it's not done right. It may not be perfect, but it's in the right general direction, or has given you some more feedback to let you know that that's not the direction that you want to go into, so that you can, keep moving forward. So that is it. So that was a whole lot that I've talked about in this episode, but I wanted to address the time thing because it haunts female entrepreneurs. It has haunted me. It still continues to do it so like doing, episodes like this and, teaching different things inside of Whole Boss Academy and stuff. It helps me to remember, because a lot of this stuff I created for myself, things that I struggle with. And I was like, what kind of systems could I put in place? What type of mindset shifts do I need to have, to make this be better? Because, it's challenging out here, to do all of these things and, manage your household and your desires and, fight mindset stuff and, get things in order. It can be a lot. So don't be stressed. You got this. You are going to improve your relationship with time. You can re-listen to this. Make sure that you get the Whole Boss Starter Kit. It has the time audit in there. It has a timesheet in there for you to look at how you're spending your time, because it's going to be eye-opening, okay? And then once you do that, you can evaluate what you need to shift, what you need to change, get back in touch, what it is that you really want, what are your goals, what are your outcomes, and why. What's important is the why. Why do you want a business? Why do you want this freedom? Why do you want more money? So that you can create a life and create a legacy for your family, so that you're not like stressed, under somebody else's reign, whatever it is. Get to your whys, and that's going to help you to make those shifts and changes that you need to have a better relationship with your time. So enjoy your day, and I will talk to you next time. Peace.